What an exciting game. I'm so excited. I was just telling Naomi what a fun environment this game was, and we need to do more of it. This is such a huge Filipino community, and it was really cool to see the crowd that we got and then cheering, and obviously the love that they have for Naomi. It was really cool to be a part of, and I'm really grateful for the university to be able to do something like this, not only for her, but for our community. So excited for that, but the game, it was fun to watch. We made it fun for the crowd that was here, but it's always good to win and learn, then lose and learn. So we got a lot to improve on. I thought we played a pretty good first half, but we're still trying to put 40 minutes together. So, and I wouldn't want it right now in early December. I'm looking to get that done in March. So we're gonna keep grinding. I thought there was some cobwebs, ironically, in the second half, more so than the first half. We haven't played in almost 2 weeks, so it was starting to show a little bit. I thought we were pretty crisp in the first, but able to hold on and get stops when we needed to, and made some big time buckets, some tough plays at the rim to put the game away for us. So excited for our girls.
Yeah, Coach, like you said, at one point you had a 14-point lead, and then Austin was cut down by 1. Has that been a problem in the past, or is that just like a fluke moment right now? Like, what was going on there?
Not a fluke. I mean, we're still learning who we are, and I think Pacific is a very good team, coached by a very, very good coach. There's a little bit of a rivalry. One of our managers is his daughter, so we've had some fun talks about that all week. Yeah. But he does a great job, and the way we can score the ball, and we were on track to score 90 points after the first quarter. He made some adjustments that kind of we struggled with, and we couldn't get the buckets that we wanted to. So we're going to go on spurts where we can't score. We're going to go on runs ourselves. That's what basketball is now. It's a game of runs, and I'm just grateful that we were able to find our way out and end up with more points on the scoreboard than they did.
But you got some really nice stops towards the end of that.
We did. They have a really good post player. Number 25 is a fantastic post player and does a lot of good things. I thought Kennedy did a good job slowing her down. We could have done a better job on the defensive glass. We gave them 10, but they had 8, I think, in the first half. So we did a better job in the second half. But they made some tough shots too in the second half with the hand in the face. Credit to them. But we were able to get stops when it mattered, and that last rebound by Nat was a big, big rebound. Us not fouling, us getting out and taking away the 3 to make her drive. That was all part of the game plan. I thought we executed that really well.
Take us through what ended up being the game-winning bucket. Having 2 post players, if you will, combine on finding that back cut there after the guards seemed to shoulder so much of the offense for the majority of that fourth quarter. Being it driving or creating shots.
What a great play. I mean, and we're talking about 2 kids. Alyssa didn't play last year, still finding her footing. Kennedy's new to us, but they were switching. So we ran a play where we created this great job bearing her, and there was nothing that she could do. It was a great pass by Kennedy inside, and I thought it was a really tough finish. We've spoken a lot these last 2 weeks about tough plays, and we got mixed up in some emotional plays. Sometimes I think our girls think that's toughness. We need to be less emotional and play who we are, and I thought that was a prime example of what we can do when we're locked in. It was a big time play.
And talking about the 2 weeks off, probably the last real extended time where you can get in the lab with this team for the season, and with how compacted the early part of the schedule was for this year, just how did you handle that, and what were some of the things that you focused on when you were practicing coming into this game?
We were able to fine-tune some things, and we've added some more full court pressure. Hopefully you saw some of that today. We're still trying to get better at that. We're going to try to get up and pressure on our man, and also some zone press. So we were able to put some new things in, but it was really about. I keep going back to the word toughness. I just thought in the Bahamas we played pretty well, but we were not as strong with the ball at times. We turned the ball over too much. I thought that was an area that we can improve on, and we really focused a lot of our time on competing. So I thought we did a good job of making sure that they were prepared. I thought some of our young ladies, I was worried about the wind, them getting tired, and they did. But I was impressed, though, in the first half that we were able to fight through some of that.
Well, Coach, go back to the Bahamas. You had traded off 1-1. You won one against Maryland. You lost to Penn State, which was a tough match. Mm-hmm. What did you learn from those games, and especially losing it to a team like Penn State, a hard match, right? When they're a hard match, What'd you take away from there?
Well, one, they have one of the best post players in the country. So now that's two that we've guarded in Lauren Betts and Gracie from Penn State. And I thought we did a good job. So we will be prepared to handle any post player. And I thought against Penn State, we played a really good game for 3 quarters. Its second quarter really took us down. So we need to focus on playing 40 minutes, trying to figure out when we hit those slumps how we can get ourselves out of it. But that's really what it is, about trying to put a full game together, and kind of what we talked about, the toughness piece.
Back to the toughness, are there 1 or 2 players you would sort of call out today as being especially tough that you thought really?
Natalia Martinez, night in and night out. She does the little things. We're asking her as a sophomore to lead, to make shots, to defend. I thought she did a great job doing all those things tonight. So I would highlight her. She always gives it. I'm looking for more people to do that as well. And I think we saw it in spurts from some of our other people. I thought Naomi was extremely tough in the first half. I thought Kennedy was much better in the second half, getting offensive rebounds and putbacks. But we got to learn how to do that consistently. And if we get to that point, watch out. This team has potential to be pretty good.
And talking about competing toughness, with UOP ramping up their pressure in the second half, how did you see how the team handled it to be able to,
Didn't think it bothered us as much. And again, I'm just hoping that we can continue to grow in those areas so we can get better and better for 40 minutes.
You have about an even ratio of 2s to 3s. It looks like attempted.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're going for? Is that what you?
I'd rather make more threes. I'd rather make more threes, but everyone knows that's what we want to do. So they are either switching or running us off the line. And I thought we made a great adjustment to them switching everything. We were able to go inside more today than what you've probably seen in the past. And that is a piece that we've been missing, points in the paint. And I thought we did a good job of that today. So we'll watch that and continue to grow that. We got kids, we're really deep. I got kids that didn't play a minute that should play more. So I got to figure out how I can get all these kids in and use our depth to our advantage. But again, not the prettiest second half, but it was nice to get away with a win.
Final non-conference game of the season, you're taking on the Big 12 side, Kansas State. What sort of challenges going to the Little Apple in Manhattan going to pose for this team?
They're a great team, and on a neutral floor, these type of games were scheduled for a reason, so we can go on the road and learn how to win in a tough environment. It's going to be a kids game, which is going to be really loud. We have a short prep because we'll practice tomorrow, but we won't do much, and we'll be traveling all day to get to Manhattan. So it's going to be an interesting mental prep, more so than a physical prep. But you're going to see a good post player. You're going to see some great guards. So they should be prepared. After playing UCLA and Penn State, I don't think they'll be intimidated. We talk about respecting everybody, but we can't fear anyone.
We talked in the huddle, just do our thing, keep running our stuff, but also don't let them get into O boards, stay locked in. So I think we did a good job with that.
Now, this team, Pacific Tigers, they came in with 3 wins and they were looking hot. When you're playing against a team, is that something you look against? Did you take that into measure, or is that just another game for you?
Yeah, Pacific's a great team. We knew, and from the scout, they had a couple of good players. So staying locked into who the shooters was, paying attention to the scout, and I think we had a couple of good days of preparation. But yeah, at the same time, just going into every game with the same mentality, playing hard. Yeah.
It's more than 2,300 here today,
Mm-hmm.
and Filipino Heritage Day, and
Mm-hmm.
so can you speak to that and what that means to you as a team?
Yeah, it was so awesome just to be able to represent my Filipino culture, my family, and just seeing everybody there and hearing the national anthem for the Philippines being played. It made me a little emotional just to be on that stage and represent. It's awesome.
And can you give us a bit of an insight, just to kind of the Filipino culture? I saw another story in the media where you talk about how, the community supports itself.
Mm-hmm.
Just what is that like, having the community come out for an event like that?
Yeah, I think Filipinos, we stick together. We always celebrate each other, no matter the sport, no matter the event, who it is. The Filipino community just works together, and I think growing up with having those values and just the values of sacrifice too.
The team has something kind of similar too when you have multiple players scoring double figures. I think the number's now 25 and 2 with 3 or more in double figures. Just talk about how the team's able to do that, have so many players step up, at any given time and call upon.
Yeah, it's special. I think we have a lot of great talent. We have a lot of people that can show up at any night. So just to have that, it's a huge relief off of each other, and just to play together, it's a great help.
I mean, the three ball was looking good for you tonight. You were like really airing out, especially in the second quarter. You hit like 3 threes in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you want to shoot, add more to your game, or you want to drive more to the paint next?
Yeah, I think my teammates just did a great job of finding me. I want to stay more consistent from the three, and I think the environment and all the events leading up to it just gave me some extra juice for sure.